Welcome to Library Directors 101, brought to you by COSLA, the Chief Officers of State Library Agencies, an independent organization of the Chief Officers of State and Territorial Agencies designated as the State Library Administrative Agency and responsible for statewide library development. COSLA's Continuing Education Connector Project is supported through funding from the Institute of Museum and Library Services, IMLS, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Congratulations on your new job as Library Director. This COSLA series was developed to introduce you to the many and unique facets of your new job. The series is intended as a very broad overview to provide some insights that will both inform and hopefully inspire you. New directors are encouraged to introduce themselves to their state librarian as soon as they start. Many state library agencies or local regional library services have programs in place to assist and train new library directors. While this is an exciting, important, and sometimes daunting position that you have accepted, you are not alone.
There are 4 videos in this series. This one is the first and will explore your new role as we talk about ethics, values, leadership, and your own commitment to our field. The other 3 episodes in this series cover community relations. The director is an outwardly focused position in the library. This session will explore that concept. Planning and project management. The director is the futurist for the library, and while you may have participated in planning activities in the past, now you'll be leading the charge in planning for your library's future and implementing that plan. Asset management. Finally, this episode looks at how you'll be managing all the assets of your library system, which includes buildings, your collection, and your staff. You've assumed an important role in your community and in the greater field of information and librarianship. Your new job involves leadership and management.
Let's talk about the important duties of your new role. You might think about these responsibilities as concentric circles. There is no one place to start, no circle that is more important than the other. These are your duties. You have a duty to your library, to sustain and build important services and assets. You have a duty to your local community, to recognize the dynamic characteristics of your community and to adjust your services to meet changing needs in your community. You must value every aspect of the community you serve and be inclusive. You have a duty to your region and state, as most library services are enhanced through partnerships and collaboration. And you have a duty to the profession and tradition of public libraries, to the universe of public library service across the globe and through time. You have accepted responsibility for the grand tradition of information access and literacy. This legacy is now yours to uphold. Of course, all of these duties involve leadership, especially as it relates to your duties to your library and community. The library is a direct reflection of the director. If the director is engaging, enthusiastic, and outward focused, so will be the library.
The library director must be a manager as well. Peter Drucker notes, managers only get credit for 2 things, innovation and marketing. Be mindful of these 2 roles because they are not the same. He also says, management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things. Know your leadership style and build on your strengths. If you are not sure, consider taking a class or attending a leadership institute. Your local Chamber of Commerce or Business Development agency may sponsor leadership training. Your state or regional library association or your state library may have a program as well. Learn how to be the best leader you can be. Become active in your state library association. Join a committee where you can play a leadership role. Be there to learn. Find mentors.
For library directors, there are specific ethics and values that are the legacy of our field. The concept that the library provides equal access for all.
That intellectual freedom is to be preserved and that no act of censorship occurs.
That our patrons' privacy and confidentiality is to be protected.
That we give attention to policies and procedures approved by our governing authorities and that we apply these equally and fairly.
That we preserve intellectual property rights for the creative persons whose original works fill our shelves and online resources. We observe copyright laws and take steps to prevent others from violating intellectual property rights.
We share our collection with other libraries and actively work to increase access to information for everyone around the globe through resource sharing.
The library provides equal access to everyone in the community.
You are outwardly focused. You serve the community and the universe of public library service.
For more detail on these values, see the Idaho Commission for Libraries Able 12 Ethics and Public Service online course. The American Library Association also published a Code of Ethics for Librarians. Check it out. It is included in the resources accompanying this presentation.
Perhaps you are new to the community, or maybe you've lived there a long time. Either way, you must get out from behind your desk, walk out of the library, and reach out to your community. Your library should be adapting to change and responding to needs. As the director, listen and be caring.
Develop a plan on how to get to know your community and for them to know you. Ask your friends group, boards, or other library leadership to introduce you to different community groups and organizations.
In your first few weeks, meet with one or two people who are recognized as community leaders. Tell them simply that you want to introduce yourself and to hear what they feel are the important activities and needs of the community. The first time you meet, make sure it is outside of the library. End your meeting with an invitation for them to visit the library for a personal tour and to meet the staff.
Are there clubs, church groups, or civic organizations in your community that you could join or speak to? What are the most appropriate ones for you and the library to get involved with quickly?
As you network, listen for opportunities that relate to library services. Keep notes, report your findings to your board, generate some ideas for change.
In this new role, you will need to set a shining example as you pursue ongoing and continual professional development.
Become a member in your state's library association, in regional groups, and the American Library Association. Attend conferences and encourage your board and staff to attend. Include a note about your professional development activities in your monthly report.
Call the state library and learn how they can support you in your new position. Many state libraries provide on-site and online learning.
Subscribe to the Wyoming webinar calendar of free learning opportunities and other providers of continuing education. There is quality library training available to you free online. Make a point to attend and learn something new every month. Take charge of your staff's and board's professional development by sponsoring training for them at your library and by making professional development part of staff's work plans.
We've covered a lot, but there is one final part of this introduction that needs your consideration. You must have a vision for your library. Here are a few case studies of inspiring stories of how libraries are transformative. Get inspired by these examples. The library as a valued center of the community. These two examples serve large and very small communities, but they are passionate about their role as a community center. Salt Lake City situated their building right along their new light rail line to make it easy to get to. There are family activities and programs, and they pioneered the coffee shop in the library idea. It's truly a destination in their city. The Belgrade Community Library, in a tiny town in Montana, shares a parking lot with the town hall. Their programs and community outreach earned them the Best Small Library in America award from Library Journal in 2015.
These libraries take their role as the cornerstone of literacy, information, and lifelong learning very seriously and are not afraid to try something new.
For examples of how libraries can be transformative, how about these? An abandoned Walmart in McAllen, Texas was transformed into a community library. And the Pima County Library is putting a new spin on the bookmobile with a traveling book bike in Tucson, Arizona.
Think of the possibilities as more of our patrons access information online. Libraries have a role in making resources available, like with the Library of Congress Chronicling America project. It's individual libraries and archives that are digitizing and contributing content to that growing online resource. Are your local newspapers archived there yet?
If you feel a bit overwhelmed, that's normal. Your new job is essential for your community, and we've just covered some big ideas. Thank you for watching this first session, and continue with us to view the other segments in this series: community relations, strategic planning, project management, and asset management.